whole song is about being you, clarity in being who you are, and not living the pretty lies.
Welcome to Message Reveal. Message Reveal identifies a vibe, a message, or a story told through lyrics of a song. And yes, you guys, if you rock with me every Monday, you know how I do. I tell you something amazing about my special guest. But if you're new to my platform, come check us out, subscribe, and you'll find out what Message Reveal is all about. So let's get back to business. I have to tell you a few things about my special guest. One, she is a speaker and a presenter. Number two, she is the I'm tongue tied right now, quality administrator at the City of Las Vegas. And we'll find out a little bit more about that. But last and definitely not least, she's also an author. You guys, please put your hands together and welcome my special guest, Miss Tressa Fernandez. How are you, my dear?
Hello, I am absolutely wonderful. And how could I not be excited after that introduction? Thank you.
You are more than welcome. I apologize. I got a little tongue tied on that, but overall, thank you so much. I say this to all my guests. You can be doing anything else on your Friday, and you said yes to me. So I so appreciate you.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's just talk about the one I had the tongue tied about. Let's talk about what you do for the city of Las Vegas. If you can just tell us a little bit about your process.
Sure. So it's a quality assurance administrator at the city of Las Vegas. I work in the purchasing and contracts office, where, in a nutshell, I supervise a team of folks who buy stuff for the city. Anything from office supplies all the way up to contracts with contractors for multi-million dollar projects and buildings. It's a great job. I'm able to be out in the community, always getting out the city's message of working with small, local, and diverse businesses, which is has afforded me amazing connections and just helping people to understand that it is possible to do work and secure contracts with the city.
I love that you're talking to someone that may have been interested in doing that, and you've given them a little bit of more confidence to say, I can have that opportunity as well. Because I think a lot of times people have the foresight that it's only the big companies,
Yes.
and the city of Las Vegas is very diverse in making sure the small, the medium, and the large size, but you have to go through the process, correct?
Absolutely. That's absolutely it. And one of my jobs when I'm out in the community for the city is helping people to understand that it is possible for the small business to do business with the city of Las Vegas.
Yeah, well, we want to make sure we toot that horn because we know the small business help the world go around.
They're the backbone. Absolutely.
Yeah, and a lot of times people forget that, but I digress. I want to talk about you in a sense of being a speaker and a presenter. Tell me what was the initial impetus to say, I want to do that, and tell me a little bit about your journey.
Wow, it has been a long time coming. If you would have asked me 10 years ago, for sure, any longer than that ago, if I would be a speaker or even desired to be a speaker, I would have said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. In my teens, I was painfully shy. I was the person who was in the background, trying not to be seen, very small social circle. I wanted to be invisible. I just wanted to blend in to the
Wow.
back of the wall. When I went to school in my early 30s, I went to the University of Phoenix. And I always say, if I didn't learn anything from the University of Phoenix, I learned how to speak and present. Every single class for almost 4 years, you had to do an individual presentation and a group presentation. But even then, I didn't come out of that saying that's what I wanted to do. It has actually evolved over time through opportunities to speak at church and opportunities to speak at work that I was like, I kind of like this. And I discovered that I have a voice. The industry that I work in, most of the contracting that I do is construction, and it's mostly men, it's mostly engineers, and gaining the confidence to understand that I knew what I was talking about is when it first started happening. And then speaking at church, seeing that people were actually listening to what I was saying. And I prayed for years, Lord, what is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? And he's like, you're already doing it.
Wow.
You're already, and once I had that revelation, I have just been building on it from there, and so excited to see where it's going to go as opportunities continue to open up.
I love that. I think it's wonderful. So on my platform, I have invisible pews. You can't see them, but they are there. And yes, there you go. You the first one that waved at them. But you're talking to someone in that pew that has that same background or role, whereas they had the gifts were always there, but they pull back and say, you know what, I'm going for whatever reason. It could be childhood, it could be
Yes,
whatever reason, but you're giving them hope to say, you know what, it may not have been in that time. But
yes,
over time, it can develop and you can be a new you. What I
absolutely.
really, really promote on this channel too is being a new you. We don't have to be what we were before. That was
Oh,
parts of you,
sure.
but you can elevate to a new level if you allow it.
And that's the key, allowing it. I mean, I am about to turn 60 in less than 2 years. And when I do, my goal is to transition from what I do at the city into speaking and ministering full time. So I am transitioning to a new me as this journey just continues to blossom, because I feel like that's what is happening. It's literally like the unfurling of a flower.
I love that. And also, okay, you're talking to the pew again, honey. And let me tell you why. Because you identified your age. So many of us are identifying with age, with possibility of doing things. That should not be the case. And retirement meaning you're done from the world. To me, retirement is what is it that you wanted to do outside of your normal 9 to 5? Things
Yes.
that have set to the side and lay dormant that you kind of picked at instead of
Yes.
picking. Now you had an opportunity to shine your light at the highest elevation.
Yes. Yes. And yes.
Yeah, so thank you for whether you know it or not, you are giving us a little bit of ministry. And I say that sometime I'm the teacher and sometime I'm the student. Right
Absolutely.
now, me and the Visible Pew are the students because we need to have those reminders. So thank you, my dear.
Absolutely.
So we're going to get into my favorite thing, and it's music.
Ooh,
Girl, music has turned me all the way out in such a great way. It has
wow.
been a journey that I cannot live without. It has been such a, God has been in the source of it. It has been a form of counseling for me. It has been a form of regulating my emotions. It's been all those things.
Mm,
And I say that because I was wondering if you can identify a song that has either blessed you, either provided lessons, or it was a distraction.
oh,
Now, before you answer, there's some rules to this, okay?
all right. All right.
Now, if you can sing, my dear,
Here.
I need you to sing your throat box out. If you can rap. I need you to come hard in the paint. I need you to do it. Do it with confidence. But last but not least, if you can't do either one, I need you to say it boldly. I need to feel it. Like they say in the streets, stand 10 toes down. I need to feel that passion, that energy of it. So I'll go back to my original question.
Thank you.
Lessons, blessings, or distraction. One of those three. Can you identify a song?
Lessons, blessings, or distractions. Wow. There's a lot, but there is one that and this is a recent one, but now singing it, but the song is called Clarity, and it's by
Ooh.
an artist called Doe. So let's see if I can sing it. Let's see. There's so much clarity and honesty. Don't need to keep living in misery. How do you know that they love you for you when your pretty lies are the only thing that they ever see? And then she takes it up a few notes. But the whole song is about being you, clarity in being who you are, and not living the pretty lies, the only thing that we let people see. So she goes on to say, strip it down, let them see you, wear your crown, be
Mm.
you. So, and I love crowns. Where's the crown? I have a little crown on my shirt today. I don't know if you can see it, but I love crowns. And she sings about wearing your crown and just being you. So that song speaks to me and reminds me to always, no matter what, to not get caught up in what people think and the mask that we tend to present to people, to just strip it down, let it down, be me, wear
I
my
love that.
crown.
That is amazing. Now, please say the name of the song again and the artist because someone may want to tap in and, actually stream that song.
Absolutely. So the song is called Clarity, and it's by Doe, Doe. And this is one of those songs that you sing in the car when you just lean your head back and hit the notes. Yeah, because she hit some notes. So,
Wow, I love that. See, that song to me can be, remember I said music can also be a form of counseling.
oh, for
That
sure.
those words are counseling because it's constantly anything that reminds you to take care of yourself, to be your most authentic self,
Hmm.
can take it gives you the opportunity to elevate to the next level. And
Yes.
that's what we want to do. They say in Jacob's ladder, it goes higher and higher. That is really identifying with you to take you to the next step. What you don't need anymore, like for example, I've never ever seen a snake shed its skin and go back and put it on.
No, ma'am. That
Okay.
doesn't happen.
But we do that. We get to look, and there's nothing wrong with looking back. That's for self-assessment, so we don't do the same thing. But we should not be going back, putting our old things on and moving forward with that. We need to move forward in a new light. I say this all the time on my platform. Whatever you do frequently
Hmm.
becomes your frequency. So
Wow.
make sure you're doing something that works for you and take you to the next level. So
Excellent.
I
Excellent.
digress. I digress. So let's talk about you being an author and what initially said, what was that perk or that move to say, you know what? Yes, not only am I going to be an author, I have something that I really want to share with the world. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, that's interesting, Halima, because I have been desiring to write for a while. First of all, I love to read. I love to read fiction. I love to get lost in a story. The people in the story becomes my friends, and it's a whole thing. And this is since I have been a young girl. I love to read. Like when I was 12 years old, I read The Stand by Stephen King. Like this, I don't know if you know, but yeah. Now
Wow.
I don't read horror anymore, but yeah, that's where.
You are an avid reader.
I love to read, and I love to read stories that are uplifting, encouraging. And as in recent years, I love to read Christian fiction. And so, as I have been reading Christian fiction and desiring to have more stories that have a strong Christian message, that's where the idea was originally birthed. Several people have said it, but to write the story that you want to read. And
Mm.
so, with that seed in my mind, my original thought was, and I will be, that I will write fiction, Christian fiction specifically. But during the COVID, a lot of stuff happened to a lot of people during the COVID.
I raised my hand on
Uh
that,
huh.
sis.
And actually, for several years, I had just been writing down times in my life when God spoke to me, when it was a situation where I could not deny that this was a situation where God spoke. And I had been writing these little things down for 6 years easily.
Wow.
And during the COVID, God gave me the idea to pull it together in a book. Now, did I ever think that I would be sharing with people some of my innermost fears, faults, mistakes, low points? Absolutely not.
Mm.
But I felt, and for many years I was not proud of my testimony. But through the process of pulling all of these moments together in a book, God ministered to me that your stories will help people see that I am speaking to them. That
Yes.
I am, whether they acknowledge me or not, speaking and moving in their lives. So there it was, and there it is. So it resulted in January of 2021, publishing the book, God is Speaking, Are You Listening? A
Ooh.
collection of testimonies.
Wow. Yes, yes, that's right. And we'll make sure we'll put in the link if someone wants to connect and find out where it can be purchased. In addition to that, how long, and I'm talking for someone, the Spirit's telling me, because someone needs to know, because you said it was 6 or 7 years collectively to put it together. When God gave you the push to actually publish it, how
Hmm.
long did that process take?
That process took about, I'm going to say, 8 months, not quite a year, between the act of pulling it all together, finding who I wanted to publish it, and then working with them, because during COVID, lots of people had the same idea to publish a book. So, they had their process. So that took time as well. Um, I would say about 8 months.
Mm.
And again, it was COVID, so I had lots of time to, focus on, writing and pulling it together and rewriting and rewriting and rewriting. And to all those would-be authors out there, my number one message is rewrite, 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 and rewrite it one more time. I could have rewritten it one more time. Because
Really?
I sure could. Because the more you rewrite and edit and revise, the more you get out the way.
Ooh,
Because
what?
at first, every word is precious. Every word is precious. I got to tell them but as you rewrite it and let God minister to you and get down to the message and to what's important and realize who you're writing the book for. I'm not writing it for me, right? I'm writing it to be a blessing to other people. So all those iterations gave me chances to get myself out the way and just write and focus on what I wanted to present. And the more you rewrite, the more it's excellent. I cannot tell you how many self-published books, Halima, I have read, and I know the folks in the back row too, where it's just full of errors, it's full of mistakes. It's and again, even in mine, I've found, so I'm gonna have the anniversary edition next year. But that's what that rewriting process is, because you're so excited, you want to get it out there, that you don't take the time to rewrite it and check it one more time. So
Mm,
I
mm.
digress.
No, no, you're everything is always in perfect alignment, and you're speaking into my spirit because I have a book that I'm getting ready, and I was like, okay, why am I? And then something else coming, okay, I'll add this. And then I'm like, oh, I'm done. And I was like, wait a minute, it's taking me a little bit more time, but we know God is in perfect timing. And
Yes.
with that, I have to continue to remind myself, okay, just wait a minute. It'll work in due time.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
So thank you for sharing that process. I feel like someone is going to benefit from your experience with rewrite, rewrite, rewrite.
And rewrite it one more time. Just check it again. Check it again.
Maybe that may be a little book you need to write. Rewrite, rewrite, and write one more time. It'd be a bestseller. It has a
Note to
rhyme.
self.
No, seriously, because every little thing can help us and benefit us. So
Absolutely.
thank you for that, and congratulations for even meeting the process and getting it up and out. So thank you.
Thank you.
So let's go back and get into this music boat.
Okay.
Can you identify a song that you have sung for many, many years? And then one day, it could be good or bad or indifference. You like, wait, what? Man, I've been singing that song all this time, and I thought it meant this, and now I realize it's something else.
Oh my gosh, so many songs. So many songs. And I just laugh. I just laugh when I look back at what I sang loud and proud as a kid. I mean, first of all, any George Clinton song. Any George Clinton song. What was we saying? What were we saying? And I gotta oh my gosh. But I have to tell you one, and this just came to me. So thank you, Holy Ghost. But this one that I mean love this song. Sade. Sade, it's a song by Sade. I gotta think of it, but she's singing and saying these lyrics. Oh, I cherish the day. So if you were mine, if you were mine, I wouldn't want to go to heaven. Now, when you think about the power of those words, what man is going to make you say that if you were mine, I
Okay.
wouldn't want to go to heaven? No, ma'am. And I'm telling you, I love that song. You know, when that bass line starts, you're like, cherish the day, and you're singing a song. If
Go,
you
go.
were right, and you just singing loud and proud. If you was mine, I would hold it. I can't sing that song no more.
You know
I
what?
can't.
You schooling me because I love that song and I'm saying, but I didn't correlate if you were my I wouldn't want to go to heaven.
That's what she's saying in the song. Go look it up. But this, if you were, I wouldn't want to go to heaven. And
No,
it's,
I know you're telling the truth. I'm just saying
I'm
it's
telling.
one of those, what? I
Yeah,
didn't pay attention to that. Wow.
yeah. That one sat me down. That one
Wow.
sat me down because I love that song. I mean, and that song again. That's one of those songs that it's down and you just singing. What? What did I? I can't even sing it no more, Halima.
Yes. I had a young lady on during my first season. You may have heard of her. Her name is China.
Mm-hmm.
She does a lot of things in the community. And we were talking about Betty Wright. She had songs that she really administered from her heart, but we understand the things that she said then was relevant then, but Now it just don't. So certain parts we talked about, we just don't sing because we love her music, we love the essence, because we also have to realize when people were creating and doing it, they were in that
Right.
particular
Who knows what
space.
where she was at that moment, right?
Correct.
Right?
But when you know better, you do better.
Yes, ma'am. You surely do.
So that was a good one. Cherish the day. I think on one of my I every once in a while I do a little music, and well, not I give my music list, and I think she was one of them, and I think Cherish the Day was one.
It probably is because the song. I remember going to see her in concert and doing that song and
Yes,
singing from the top of my lungs.
yes,
If
yes.
you want my, oh yeah.
Yes. And speaking of her in concert, she doesn't come out often. I saw her at MGM Hotel when she came here to Vegas, and it was phenomenal.
When?
This was back in, I think it was in the 90s.
So we was probably at the same concert singing loud and proud. Yes, ma'am. Because
Yes.
I was there.
Oh wow. Yes. I need her to come back to
I
Vegas because I
know.
just love
I would
her
go too.
essence of who she is.
Elegant and classy and
Yes. Yes.
mhm.
And I think our conversation right now is very fitting for this very reason. You don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Mm-mm.
A lot of times people will be like, oh, that damn that to hell, and not knowing that that was a space and time for them. And we can take what we need and still be a part of that process.
Mhm. Yes,
So
ma'am.
that's just my perspective. I'm not going to say 2 cents. I'm going to say seven because seven is my favorite number. So,
All right. I love it.
so let's talk about this. First, I did not say this, but you're a woman of God
Yes.
and you shield and operate your life in that energy and that resilience of who God is.
Mm-hmm.
I say all that to say, what does the word resilience mean to you throughout your whole body and your whole fiber? How does it identify?
Resilience, man, the ability to keep going no matter what. Period. No matter what you're seeing, feeling, or hearing, right? Because that's how we motivate most of us, particularly women, by what we see, by what we feel, and by what we hear. And the epitome of resilience to me is being able to be focused on God and your purpose in spite of what you're seeing, feeling, and hearing. The resiliency to press forward, the resiliency to press forward when you hear the news lines, the news headlines, when you physically see with your eyes the things that are going on around you, even sometimes within your own household, when you're purposing to move in a certain direction or rise above, right? That is resilience, being able to, in spite of all of that, press forward in keeping God at your focus and aligning what you're doing with where he's taking you, because the clarion call in this space we're in is, why would God let this happen? Why did God let that happen? And I'm not here to answer that question. I'm here to be resilient and stay focused on what I believe and know to be true and move forward in a positive way.
I agree. And I feel like, so I have this pause moment where you need to say that again because somebody is struggling right now because maybe, and I'll just say this, who we currently have
Sure.
as a representative of America. I'm not going to say any names.
Fair.
And they are so focused on that, that may be one portion instead of you looking at all the many blessings in your
Yeah.
life
Yes.
and all the things that you can do to make a change. Michael
Ah,
Jackson talked about make that change.
Absolutely. It's so true. It is. And the pull to do just that is so strong these days, and that's the resilience, being able to a phrase that I've heard, rise above the common fray of everyday negativity, right? I can't take claim for that, someone else said it, but to rise above it, to purpose, to not engage in the negativity. What you said, it, what can I do? Realizing what I can do to affect positive change. And sometimes it seems so big that there's nothing I can do, but that is not true. The very fact of entering into a room and radiating positivity is the very thing that sometimes people need to help them see. You know what? It's not all bad. Let me take a moment. I start my every day with one thing that I'm grateful for. And
Yes.
I write it down. And I've been doing it for years now, lest I forget that I do, at the end of the day, have so much to be grateful for.
Wow. I love it. And we have to continue to give those positive messages out. If I can share with you one thing I do every day, and it has worked for my highest good, I say this every day. I'm always in the right place at the right time to receive the right blessing from the right person for my highest elevation. And I
And
tell you, it works so well that one day I was in Kohl's and I said, "Oh, I just got to run in to get whatever I needed to get." And this lady was following me around, and I was like, "Okay, is she really following me around? Not." So I'm trying to stay focused. So the faster I walk, the faster she walked with me. I said, "She following me." So I turned around. I said, "Hello," and she go, "Hello." I said, "How are you?" She's like, "Fine." She was like, "I was trying to catch you." And I wanted to say, "I know, but I'm trying to be, nice because, you're kind of thrown off." And she
mm-hmm.
said, "Out of all the people in the store, I wanted to give this to you so you can use it. It was a 40% discount." She followed me to get, it was tons of people. It was during the Christmas time.
Wow.
And I turned around, I said, "I thank you." And I told her what I say every day. And I said, "You are a part of that process." And
Wow.
I truly believe, and I'm saying all this to say that we have so much power in this,
Woo. Yes,
and
ma'am.
we're not using it to the
Sure.
fullest ability. And that even applies to me. I'm not just saying because I say what I, sometimes I get caught up and I'll be like, "Wait a minute, let me change my language."
Yes.
So I'm saying all that to say, you, me, the invisible pew, and anybody else just checking in. There you go.
I love them back there.
Girl, we all have the ability to adjust our antennas.
Yes, what we're focusing on.
Yes, and make sure it's the right thing so you can receive the right blessings.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for talking about resilience and giving us that perspective. You guys, you see how she's such an effective speaker and a presenter. So I'm going to dig a little deep, and if you choose not to share this, it's absolutely okay. But because we're in that energy of really being transparent, can you tell me the first time you had to do a speaking engagements and the feelings that came up that you're like, "Ooh, I don't know," and how you suffocated that energy that was not necessarily for you and you were able to have a great outcome?
Two instances come to mind, and the first one didn't end well. And it was before I realized that I was on this speaking journey, but it was the first time that someone gave me an opportunity to speak. And I was so nervous. I fumbled over my words. I whatever shoe I had on slip-on shoes. I kept slipping my foot out my shoe and in my shoe, and I was just a bundle of nerves. And when I finished, I was like, okay, well, I won't do that again. They don't do not have to worry about me doing that again. But this incredible woman who was my boss at the time and my mentor, unbeknownst to me, even at that time, she encouraged me and she was like, it's okay. You're going to be fine. and she encouraged me to speak again. She would not let me, because I was told her, "You don't have to worry. I know you do not. I'm not." And she wouldn't let me not do it again. She
Bless her.
gave me another opportunity to speak again. And so, what did I do to overcome it? First, I feel nervous every time I'm about to speak in front of an audience. But I've learned to manage the nerves by, first of all, being as prepared as I can, right? I mean, and that's everything from, again, wearing comfortable clothes, knowing my material or having my material prepared so that I can easily refer to it. And knowing that, again, and the difference came when I realized that this was is something that God has called me to do, and that whenever I open my mouth purposing to let my light shine, however that might be, so that helps me to overcome. So I don't feel like I have to have every word memorized. I
I
have
have
to
to.
believe what I'm talking about, though.
Yes,
So
yes.
what I'm speaking about has to be in my heart. That way, when it's in my heart, I can speak to something that wasn't in my notes.
Hmm.
Or if I forget what was in my notes, I have it in me. So it just comes out. And that way I come out sincere. We've all
Yes.
seen the speaker who does not seem sincere because they're reading a paper. I mean, and you can even read a paper. I'm not saying don't read a paper. I'm saying, but whatever you're reading on that paper has to be in you, because people
Woo.
know it. They know it immediately
Yes.
when it's not. And that's what I've discovered. I've discovered, and I attribute it 100% to the light of Christ that's in me that people connect to. And they connect to it sometimes. I think they don't even know why or what it is. And that's where my confidence comes from, where it's not even in my ability. It is in the excitement of connecting with someone in a way that perhaps they weren't even expecting.
Ooh, go ahead, girl. I really love that you said, and you're talking to me when you say, so if I have to speak or talk about anything, I just do bullet points.
Hmm.
And for my bullet points, then I go and say whatever I need to say. I've never been like, and just look and read. Some things do need to, like if it's a bio or something like that,
Hmm.
you do need to be able to do that. But when you can speak authentically,
Hmm.
I truly, truly believe it makes a difference. It's a difference with how people light up when they be like, oh, yes, oh, yes, or oh, yes, just by you being authentically you.
Yes. Yes. 100%.
Yes, ma'am. So I do have a question. I know, how long have you worked for the city of Las Vegas?
16 years.
So let's talk to our babies. And I say our babies, we have a lot of, I'm still young, but I'll
And so
say
am I.
that's right. But I'm saying our younger ones with wanting instant
Mm,
gratification.
mm, mm,
So, where I'm going with that, I had someone that spoke to me and they were really upset, a young person. And it was like, I need to be doing this, 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 this. And they're going through giving me the whole spiel, right? And it was very sincere, it was authentic. And I asked him this one question: how long? Oh, it was just 5 months ago. One, two, three, four, five. And I'm not saying that to be sarcastic.
sure.
It is a process to everything.
Yes.
And the instant gratification has removed the experience over time to get you that momentum to move faster forward. But you got to have that experience and that wisdom first. Can you just talk about your process? Because you didn't start off where you're at now. Can you talk a little bit about how you started off and how you coasted, and it's not an overnight process?
Now, started off with the city or with
With the city, with the
speaking with
city.
the city.
Yes.
So, absolutely. So, when I started with the city, I came to the city after working for over 12 years in contracting in the healthcare industry.
Wow.
And after the healthcare industry, chewed me up and spit me out, I was like, okay, it's time to move on to something else. And interestingly, when I pursued work with the city, because I literally was just seeking to do something outside of healthcare, and a position in contracting came up, I'm like, okay, well, I know contracting. And interestingly, when I looked into the position at the city, they told me that, okay, well, you probably won't get hired because the city is looking for someone who has government experience, and they basically threw rain on my little parade. And I
Mm,
was like, okay, well, that's all right, I already put the application in, so we'll see what happens. Long story short, obviously I got the job, and this was my first job working for a government agency. So I came in as a contract specialist and worked in an environment where people were not forthcoming with information.
mm,
My supervisor was someone who had worked there for many years, and when I tell you, she was burnt out.
ooh,
So she taught me, but she taught me through a lens of negativity. Okay,
mm,
right, through her experiences, and I held her in very high regard because she had been through a lot. But learning from her was difficult. Like, it was learned by fear. And my
mm,
peers were, judging me, and so it was a tough environment. And I have to admit, if it were not, for being strong in who I was and my faith, that it would have been tougher. But I learned, and I came in understanding that I needed to take advantage because everything was very compartmentalized. Like, if you came in, you would only learn construction, or you would only learn how to do requests for proposals. But for whatever reason, wink, wink, I came in and was taught both. And
oh,
people were like, well, you very negative, but I understood. Oh, go ahead, give me the hardest contracts. Give me the ones you don't want.
mm,
I will learn it.
mm,
And I learned it.
mm.
And it became a time when I was the only one in the department who could do both.
Oh, wait a minute,
Because,
wait a minute, wait. That's a pause moment. Sometimes we have to step beyond what our comfort zone is
yep,
to get to the level like, yes, I'm the one that knows the knowledge.
right. And this is all over time, not being, because I could have been mad, right? But the very first contract they gave me was medical services for inmates. But I just came from the healthcare field,
Mm,
right? So bring it on. And I learned so much. So every hard contract they gave me, I took advantage of the opportunity to learn. Fast forward several years, now I'm on firmer footing. Things are changing. There was a particular type of construction process that is qualification based. It's called construction manager at risk. Again, for whatever reason, wink, wink, I was the only one in our department who took these projects on.
mm.
Let me rephrase that. I was the only one who embraced it.
Okay.
Others resisted it. But what happened? After 2 years, I became the subject matter expert. So when the time came for promotion, and again, when I went there hiding, right? I went to the city hiding. I'm done with management. I don't have to manage people anymore. I didn't think that I would be in a management position again. But
Mm.
as this evolution occurred throughout the years, and I mean, now we're talking 8 years,
Wow.
an opportunity for promotion came. I was in a different space.
Yes.
I applied for it. And because I had this balanced knowledge, now here I am 8 years later, having been in a management position where people came up to me and, Why do you want to take this? Why would you do this? Are you crazy?
Mm.
But during this time, Halima, the department that I work in has done not a 360, but a 980,
Ooh.
to where we have a culture where people work together, we collaborate, we support each other. Anyway, I could go on and on, but the point being, it was well worth the time that I put in to learn it. Now, do some things happen sooner? Sure. And I have had this message to young people as well. Don't be so fast to tout your expertise as a thing in a thing if you've only done it for 5 months. You're
Hello.
not an expert yet. You've got to take the time to learn it. Now, sure, do you want to share your lessons learned along your journey? Okay, but there's still lessons learned. If I had become a quality assurance administrator any sooner in that process, I don't believe I would have been as good. I don't
Yeah.
believe I would have been as prepared. Because there's so much that I learned. And again, not only about the process, the law, the people,
Wow.
about myself.
Yo, come on now.
About
Yes.
myself.
Yes.
Like, am I even ready to, right?
Yeah.
Because, girl, when I went in there first, I was like, only thing I'm interested in managing are my papers. My papers don't talk back. I know right where they're at, and if they get too wild, I'll throw them away. But I evolved from
Yes,
that.
ma'am. Well, somebody needed to hear that story. And let me say this. Let me be very clear. All of us, not just the young baby I'm talking about, because I can see parts of me in that process as well.
Mhm.
All of us have been in a place like, I already know it and I'm done. And you don't. You need to have that experience because what I have seen, somebody that did something really quick and they were great at what they did, but they was missing that experience piece, so they burned out really fast.
Oh, yes.
And not only did they burn out, now they had a tainted perception of what they did.
Yes.
And it took them years to get back into that energy zone to say, I'll try it again. And now
Yes.
they had more experience. So it's a balancing act
Mm-hmm.
that we all play. But I'm in a space in my life, I say, okay, God, all right. You say, wait a minute. All right, spirit. Okay. And I take it as that. So I say to anybody, if it's not, it's a song. If it don't fit, don't
Don't
force
force
it.
it.
Just relax and let it.
Relax.
Now, it can pertain to other things, but what I'm saying with that, if it's not gliding and moving at the time, wait another week, wait another month, and you may have to wait another year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And here is one of the most profound lessons that my pastor has ever taught me, is that wait does not mean no.
Ooh, say that again, sis. Say it again.
Wait does not mean no. And there
Yes.
is so much to be learned in the waiting. So much to be learned in the waiting. Even back to those who aspire to write. You want to rush and hurry. Wait another week, another month, another however long it takes to review it, to read it again, to have someone edit it again, to add to it, to take away from it. It
Yes.
doesn't mean no. It just means it'll be that much better at the end.
Oh, that is beautiful. You talking some, as I say, some good stuff, some ear candy. Wait, yeah. And I think because this world has evolved to everything, social media, and
Yes.
I'm okay, let me do this, let me do that. But we have to have some part of us that can be patient
Yes.
and can say, let me take a breath. What is my
Yes.
body saying?
Yes.
Because your brain can be saying one thing, but your body is saying, we need a break,
Now say that again, because we ignore that.
girl.
And I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm learning. Listen, when my body says we need a break, I better sit my little happy self down somewhere.
That is the biggest thing that has benefited me in the last, I say, because our department worked during COVID. and we didn't have any breaks. And I saw people having meltdowns.
Absolutely. Oh, and I still works too. I definitely still works too. But yes, melting
But you,
all the way down.
but like, I mean, you're talking about, is this a different character of a person? And I had to sit real quiet and talk to Hallema. And I said, oh, you're not going to do that. Because I can be, if you step on my toes the wrong way, I'm going to say what I need to say. But some things was just so out of pocket, out of control from my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to myself, when you need to get some extra sleep, get it. If you need to sit and be quiet, do it. If I need to go sit in my car and play my favorite song, I'm going to do it.
Yes.
And when I need to eat better, because we have all done this,
Ooh,
do it. And it's been a game changer in my life. I'm not saying I'm perfect,
absolutely.
but when I get that, even to this day, if I get a little, before I'll be like, oh, it's fine. Before you know it, I'm on my back. Girl, I will go get some stuff, take it, and I'm good. I don't get to the
Rest.
point where I'm laid on my back.
Yes.
So we have to listen to our bodies.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Yes. So before we get out of here, first of all, I just wanted to say I have had just such a
Ah,
wonderful time talking to you.
it's been
Uh,
delightful.
just you giving your perspective and allowing me to share some of my perspective. I just truly appreciate that. But before we get out of here, we have to talk about this.
Okay.
Can you share a song with the world that identifies parts of you or all of you? Can you share a song that you would like to dedicate?
A song that I would like to dedicate to um is, man, several clash into my brain, but one that I think of as far as dedicating to the world is it's called Reckless Love. There's
Ooh,
several versions of it, but it's by the one that I listen to all the time is by Israel, and the chorus is, "Oh, the overwhelming, reckless love of God! It chases me down. It finds me, fights when chases me down, fights, and now I can't remember the words of it, but that would be the song because it sings about basically how God loves us no matter what, and even when we aren't even looking, He's chasing us down. He's loving on us and loving us recklessly without abandon in a way that we can't even comprehend. Reckless
ooh.
love.
I love that. What you're doing is reminding whatever space you're in, because sometimes we can't get in those negative space. God is still there. If
Yes.
you don't believe, source is still there. It is
Yes.
still looking and redefining and said, look what you have to offer every day you open up your eyes. It is still something valuable and unique about you to offer to the world.
Absolutely.
I love that. Reckless love. And you said, and who is the artist again?
Israel Houghton. I think it's Houghton.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful,
That's all.
wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Before we get out of here, I always talk about the journey and the destination. The journey is where we learn and where we grow. The destination is where we celebrate. I see this very often in my personal and professional life. People work, 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 work so hard, and they never give themselves time to celebrate, to massage, to enjoy it. And they don't, when they don't do that, they don't really feel the full essence of what they do.
Absolutely.
Now, when it's all said and done, they can't be in that destination for too long because we can't all celebrate for years and years and years. They have to come back into the journey so they can continue to learn and elevate. But destination and celebration is very necessary.
Mhm.
I say all that to say when my men are on my platform, I salute them. When I have a beautiful woman on, I bow. So I bow to you. Before we get out of here, can you please tell my audience about any social media handles that you have, any upcoming events you have, and anything else you would like to share? If you have a speaking engagement that you'd like to share, anything else?
Oh, well, first of all, thank you for having me on today. What an honor. You said it would be fun, and you absolutely, it has been that and then some. So thank you. What am I doing? Several things. Enjoying life, enjoying the moment, definitely not forgetting to do that because it's easy to get sucked up into not doing that, even doing the things we love, right?
Yes.
I have an upcoming speaking engagement. This is actually my first speaking engagement where someone is having me go somewhere else. So I'm going all the way to Reno for my first speaking engagement for Women's History Month. It's going to be on March 12th. The event is called Empower Her, and my theme is going to be going and is to women professionals and entrepreneurs, and they're talking about their theme is the transformative power of unity. So
Mm,
my and I'm the keynote speaker, so my keynote speech is going to be transforming from competition to collaboration, and the
mm,
power that we have as women when we don't compete, when we come together and realize the power that we have when we collaborate.
yes.
That's March 12th in Reno, so I'm very excited about that. I do have a website, so if you want to keep in touch with what I'm doing and other things that I offer, or you can get the book there. My website is whenshespeaks.faith.
Mm,
And so you can find more information about me there. The book, God is Speaking, Are You Listening, is available on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Noble. It's also available if reading is not your thing. You can listen to it on Audible. I had the amazing opportunity to record the book myself and make an audio version available. So if reading is not your thing, I can tell you the story myself. So you can get it
oh,
on Audible. So I'm so humbled and so grateful about all the things that God is doing, and just look forward to doing more and hope to see you guys in the back row along the journey.
wonderful. This has been such amazing process. Thank you for sharing that. I'll make sure I put that in the link. So if they want to tap in, it's also readily available. Thank you. Thank you so much. And do you have, I know you summed it up, but do you have any last words before we get out of here?
No, no last words. It's just been an amazing opportunity. I love what you're doing. Keep on doing it. And I look forward to seeing more from you.
Well, thank you, you guys. Please, please put your hand together and thank my amazing guest, Miss Tressa. And as I say to all my guests, I'll see you out here in these Las Vegas streets.
Absolutely. I will see you.
Thank you.